DonInLondon, good morning. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addiction substance was alcohol, my behaviour trying to be perfect as usual for most people, and realising I was never so. And what I know these days, I learn more each day, just a little bit more about how to live. And that's the gift of life. And sometimes in the past I probably wanted to snuff mine out. There were days and weeks and months and years where I didn't want to wake up. And why? Well, clinical depression and I guess a life not really understood. And it's as simple as that, not understanding that I had life choices. And most of us don't actually understand this, that we do have choices, and sometimes we follow where others have gone and it leads us astray or off our path, what might be called the spiritual path, that is living in the truth of now. And that's my spiritual path, living in the truth of now. And I feel very grateful this morning. My brother, his wife and my nephews just came and visited, and the nephews got some ad hoc presents, old artifacts of mine which I felt were better in their hands than mine. So what keeps me sober? Well, life and a fellowship and family and keeping on living and seeing new experiences every day. But the fellowship for me is Alcoholics Anonymous, and this is what I focus on in these videos, how it helps me. But I don't speak for it, but I do utilise the tools of the fellowship, and one of them is the preamble shared at the beginning of every meeting, and it goes like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. All my videos. Does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And like I say, I don't speak for AA, I speak for what it does for me and how it improves my outlook. And as you probably noticed, my outlook has been somewhat missing another person, a gap, and that good lady is going to be a friend of mine forever, I now realise. And how that will materialise, it will be in friendship, which is a marvellous place to be. But we only work for one day only one day, so we never know what's going to happen in the future, and times and people and places change. As long as I remember, I am powerless over other people, places, things and alcohol. Life will stay fairly manageable for me in my choices one day only, this day. So I'm grateful. I have a lot of gratitude to understand we don't have to close the door on anything in our lives. What we need to do is make peace with ourselves and our surroundings and the people in our lives as best we can. And I may be jumping along in the 12-step program of AA if I do that in this video. But you know, life feels a bit good today. I've got a cold, my blood sugars are all over the place, I've got a headache, my nose is blocked, you name it, but I still feel okay, and it's a big improvement. And I can oscillate between being okay, being deeply depressed, or just very happy. Sometimes I have no clue what's going on, but that's just the way the chemicals work in me. So what's important for me to share today is something of the literature of AA, and I don't know where I put it now. Oh, here it is. Yes. The daily reflections or daily readings for today from the AA Daily Reflection book, and As Bill Sees It, another inspirational reading book, if you like, one page only per day. And you know, the one-day program saves lives one day at a time, and I don't know how many days I am clean and sober now, but it's some years. So it's been done one day only. So January 24th in this book, it says, there is action and more action. Faith without works is dead. To be helpful is our only aim. That comes from the AA Big Book, page 88 and 89. And the Big Book of AA looks like this. It's got AA written across the top, Alcoholics Anonymous. Not as thick as it used to be. It's on better paper these days, but it was called the Big Book because it was on very fat and rag paper. Anyway, it goes on to say on this reading, I understand that service is a vital part of recovery, but I often wonder, what can I do? Simply start with what I have to do today. I look around to see where there is a need. Are the ashtrays full? Do I have hands and feet to empty them? Suddenly I'm involved. The best speaker may make the worst coffee. The member who's best with newcomers may be unable to read. The one willing to clean up may make a mess of the bank account. Yet every one of these people and jobs is essential to an active group. The miracle of service is this: when I use what I have, I find there is more available to me than I realised before. And I'll be going to do some service in a little while to make some tea, and I thought I got shot of this commitment, but there was a discombobulation of information shared and understanding. So I'm still making tea. I think, I'm sure I am. I've got the milk for it anyway. But what it's saying there, unity, recovery, service. Unity or the fellowship around one aim only, to keep sober for one day. Service is being a part of, and recovery is one day long. And that's the principles, if you like. The actual thing for humans to do is be open, honest and willing to change. Just open, honest and willing to change on a daily basis. As Bill sees it for today, it talks about the realm of the spirit on item 7. In ancient times, material progress was painfully slow. The spirit of modern scientific inquiry, research and invention was almost unknown. In the realm of material, men's minds were fettered by superstition, tradition and all sorts of fixed ideas. Some of the contemporaries of Columbus thought a rounder preposterous. Others came near to putting Galileo to death for his astronomical heresies. Are not some of us just as biased and unreasonable about the realm of the spirit as were the ancients about the realm of the material? We have found that God does not make too hard terms with those who seek him. To us the realm of spirit is broad, roomy, all-inclusive, never exclusive or forbidding to those who earnestly seek. It is open, we believe, to all men. And the realm of the spirit for me, happily, is in the realm of understanding truth of now. And philosophers along the way have always said spiritual life is truth, understanding the truth of now. And for me, God is truth, and that's what Gandhi said, and many others besides. So, in the spiritual realm, it's about honestly seeing reality. How else do we learn the wisdom of life? And that's as good as it can get in my open, honest, willing outlook. I don't block the idea of God being some sort of, the engineer of the universe. And indeed, maybe he is, or whatever it is, the engineer of the universe is far bigger than me. And all I need realise is that I'm a human being the same size as others. We all come to an understanding of our spiritual faith and progress. And faith for me is faith in humankind and good conscience. So I feel good in that respect. And one of the other things I want to share this morning, seeing as I have got a little bit of time, I got hold of this book, The Desiderata of Happiness by Max Ehrmann. And most people will know the desiderata is go placidly amidst the noise and haste. That's where it starts. And the final line is strive to be happy. But what I also discovered in this book is some of the poetry which was around in the 1920s and 1929 around the Wall Street crash, if it was that year. Max Ehrmann worked on Wall Street, and so did Bill Wilson, the co-founder of AA. And one of the words used in this book particularly is shortcomings. And it's interesting because in the middle of the steps, and I know I'm jumping ahead here, there are 2 steps which are very, very important. Step 6, which is about our defects of character, that's using our extremes of behaviour. And our shortcomings is probably not having a balance between all the behaviour that is open to us for good reason. Nature and Providence gave us the ability to have fear. It also had the ability, so we have the ability to put on a brave face, and also a little bit of ego, which is needed sometimes to say, how dare you do this to me? At the same time, those become defects if we use them all the time for all of our lives. And the other side of the coin, if you like, is courage, faith and confidence. And that's my shortcomings. So the defects for me are using too much ego, brave facing and fear, and not enough courage, faith and confidence. So courage, faith and confidence in the right measure, as is with the others, suits us all very well. It's part of nature's gift to us. When they're used at the extremes, where it's blind fear, blind ego, blind brave facing, or blind courage, blind confidence, and blind courage, faith and confidence, when it's out to the extremes, it's not good for us. So my time is up, and more anon.